What's going on, everyone? I guess I'm not Rogues anymore. I decided to change my YouTube channel name, and I'm still trying to get around changing it more, but Google Plus is being very uncooperative. So we'll see how that goes, and if I can't, then I guess I'll be Tail Drill for a while. Whatever. So, got another Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Wi-Fi battle here against Rose, like this, as in the same person as the last battle was against. This team, I made this team around Toxicroak. I wanted to test out Toxicroak because I felt like he could be really good and he could be pretty good in OU. Obviously not a top tier threat, but I feel like Toxicroak could be pretty good in OU, given the right support. Like, for starters, he's a fairy killer. He's got that stab, poison jab. I went with poison jab on him because I'm a wimp. Now, because I didn't want to risk gunk shot missing, and he's already got a stab, poison jab, so he can kill a lot of fairies, especially when he's adamant and life orb, which is the set I'm running. Adamant, life orb, stab, poison jab kills a lot of fairies, and he outspeeds Azumarill, he outspeeds Clefable. Obviously, he doesn't outspeed Mega Gardevoir, but he outspeeds regular Gardevoir. So, no, not necessarily, because they tend to run Timid, and I'm running Adamant, so it would likely outspeed me. But anyway, he's a fairy killer, and he's a good check to Bisharp actually, because he can really. I mean, he can come in, he resists the Sucker Punch, and he can threaten him out with a Drain Punch. But he himself is also frail. At the same time, Bisharp is rather frail and slower, yet Bisharp's a huge threat in OU. And on this team, I've got an X-Drill, a Sandrush X-Drill with a Tyranitar. I wanted to use him. This is a mostly hyper offense team. The one exception is the Tyranitar, which is a bulky set, because I wanted a reliable rocker. And his team is looking pretty balanced. He's got a Chestnut, which is going to be a really good defensive pivot for him. He's got the Gyarados, which tends to be, could be a good Spidef pivot of some sort. Heatran is in this OU is either Choice Scarf or Spidef, and I imagine he would be Spidef at matchup. This team looks pretty powerful. I have confidence in my team, so we'll see how this goes. And yeah, that's Zinnia's theme. I actually really like that theme. 3rd gen music is probably my favorite music in Pokemon, but I like some of the remastered music also, and I like Zinnia's theme a lot. He leads off with his Chestnut. I lead off with my Azumarill. It's not very good matchup for me, because he can Seed me, he can Spiky Shield. They all carry Spiky Shield, so it's pretty obvious. And I expect him, maybe he'd want to switch out, fearing me being potentially banded, and a banded play rough could really damage him. But he stays in, he goes for Leech Seed, and I overprotect. I go for knockoff, which I guess is actually pretty good, because now he doesn't have his leftovers. And now he starts spike stacking, which I do not like at all. Now this is bad for me, because I'm not a banded Azumarill, I'm an Assault Vest Azumarill. But I am a banded Talonflame, and I do not like this matchup, because Chestnut can Spiky Shield all he wants, and he will see what I lock myself into. And therefore he can make an appropriate switch or stay in if I go for a U-turn. So in that matchup, I'm pretty much bound to get the bad hand. I go into Toxicroak because I figured it was a pretty safe switch in. And I go for the Drain Punch, but Drain Punch does not kill, which is pretty underwhelming. I mean, I think I calced it. I had a calcum for part of the battle, and I knew that it wouldn't kill, but still, it was kind of disappointing. Anyway, I figured the Drain Punch would be too obvious right here. He'd likely want to go into something like Gyarados in order to avoid it, because Heatran could be potentially useful. So I double into Sceptile, and it pays off. He goes out into Tempura. Sounds like a pretty good Gyarados named to me. And I've got my Mega-Sceptile. This is my debut Mega-Sceptile team. I hadn't really used it before this. Now, Sceptile is going to be a huge threat to his team. It's going to be very important for me in this battle. It is going to be my win condition. Sceptile can really threaten his Gyarados, and Gyarados really can't do much to me, so I figured I'd go for the sub, because Waterfall's not going to break a sub. If he went for Roar, that would kind of screw me over, but I didn't think he would go for that. And Bounce would take 2 turns, so whatever. But he goes on to Heatran, and I guess he wasn't fearing the Earthquake much, or at least after seeing my substitute, he probably concluded I didn't have the Earthquake. I'm sub 3 attacks, but all special attacks. I've got Focus Blast and then Dual Stab in Dragon Pulse and Giga Drain, not Leaf Storm. If it was a mixed set, I'd likely think about running Leaf Storm. And Dragon Pulse on that Chestnut. Chestnut's at full health, and this is why I say he's a really big threat to his team. That does a good amount of damage. That's a 2-hit KO. Unfortunately, he gets the Drain Punch off. Drain Punch is going to make it so it won't be a 2-hit KO, and that really sucks to me, because now Sceptile, I do not want Sceptile to take a Drain Punch, so I'm going to switch out into Talonflame, thinking he'd probably just go for the Drain Punch again, which he does. Talonflame can easily take the Drain Punch, and like I said before, I'm in a really bad matchup when it comes to his Chestnut versus my Talonflame, so I make a double, expecting him to Spiky Shield. And with the Azumarill, I figured at this range of HP, I'd be able to take him on, but he goes for the he also switches, which I felt was kind of strange, but he probably didn't want to risk the Spiky Shield. Well, actually, I'm not sure. He had a free Spiky Shield there. But he goes into Gyarados. I've got Azumarill versus Gyarados. The thing is, we can't really do much to each other. But I didn't feel like switching out, so I got greedy. I got greedy and went for the knockoff, which did not play well with, which did not fare well on my part, because he went right out into the Chestnut and seeded me. But I used Play Rough, and I was disappointed at that damage. Like, come on. Well, he is a, I was at -1, so I think I'd forgotten that during the battle, which was why I was so shocked at how little it did. But, whatever. X-Drill seemed like a safe switch, because it wouldn't make sense for him to go for the Drain Punch. And I just go for the Iron Head because I really want to take down that Chestnut. Chestnut is stopping me from doing a lot with Azumarill and Talonflame. And I know I don't want to stay in against his Gyarados because I know X-Drill can be useful later on. So I got in the Toxicroak. Oh, plus I also wasn't sure if he was gonna live. I wasn't sure if I was faster. Anyway, here's another reason why I think Toxicroak is pretty good in OU. He's got that water immunity. He can he can take a Scald, he can take the Waterfall, Aqua Jet. That's why he's a safe switch in for the most part against Azumarill. He can take one Play Rough at full HP. Well, not from a banded Azumarill or a much less a Belly Drum at +6. But the water immunity, I feel it can be really good for him in this metagame. I wanted to go for the Poison Jab because on that Gyarados, I guess I didn't consider the possibility of him switching out into Caesar, which Caesar proves to be a pretty big threat to my team. And I don't play around it well. Like, just looking back at this battle, I don't play around that Caesar well. I was lucky he didn't go for a Sword Stance or something against my Toxicroak, because Toxicroak really couldn't do anything to him. X-Drill comes in because I want to get, at the cost of my own X-Drill, I want to get rid of these rocks and spikes, which will do well in the end, I guess. It does work out well for me in the end. X-Drill does faint to the Superpower. Superpower is carried by Sword Stance or Choice Band Caesar, but obviously this isn't a Choice Band Caesar. and I figured he would be Sword Stance, and yeah, he is Sword Stance. He goes for it right here. This is part of the reason why I say I don't play around it well, because this is a bulky Tyranitar. I don't have much attack investment, barring some for pursuit trapping, and I just go in to get my rocks up. I missed the Stone Edge, but it doesn't matter. No, actually, it does kind of matter a bit, but I guess in the long run it doesn't matter too much. But for these next few turns, it does matter actually. And he just kills me with the Bug Bite rather than the Drain Punch. Alright, no, not Drain Punch, Bullet Punch. Which is good for me because now I know that he doesn't have Roost, which really relieves me, because if he had Roost, then that would suck. So I go into Talonflame and I make a big misplay. I don't go for the Flare Blitz, instead I just go for the U-turn, expecting him to want to switch out, since Caesar threatens my team so much. But number one rule, we don't play around with threats, and that comes back to bite me in this battle. I'm hoping Azumarill can live, because if Azumarill can't live this Bullet Punch, and I'm going to be in a really bad position, potentially being swept by a Caesar. And it does live, and I get the Waterfall off, but he lives on like 2 or 1 HP. Granted, I lived on 2, so I can't complain much. But that's fine, because I can just go into Talonflame. I'm faster. I've got Gale Wings. Brave Bird is gonna kill him. So big threat down. Now he's got his Latios. He's got his Gyarados, and he's got his Tyranitar left. Now no Dew. Obviously gonna be the Latios. I'm banded. I've got Brave Bird. I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna outspeed. Well, of course I'm gonna outspeed. And I Oko. I expected it to Oko. I think at this point in the battle I didn't have a damage calc open, but I went with my gut there. Plus, unless he was running a lot of defense investment for some reason, I knew it would kill. Now it's my Sceptile versus his Tyranitar. Mega-Sceptile versus the world, and a Gyarados. Hey, that should be the name of this. That should be the name of this video. Mega-Sceptile, go for a substitute. I went for a substitute because I wanted to scout, see what he would do, in case he was going to go for a Stone Edge and hopefully miss, or go for something that couldn't go through sub. But no, he goes for the Crunch, which was probably his best play in the end. I go for the Focus Blast, and thank God I hit. I hit 2 Focus Blasts this battle. That's surprising. I mean, that Focus Blast was going to decide if I lost or won. And there we go. Tyranitar is down. I didn't think Giga Drain would kill, that's why I went for the Focus Blast. And I wasn't sure if I'd be able to live a Crunch after that. Giga Drain, I expected it to kill Gyarados right here, but it didn't. But it's no big deal, because all he has to hit me is Waterfall. He showed that Thunder Wave earlier. Hey, Brazilian Gyarados. And so it would seem unlikely that he would have Bounce on it. And Sandstorm's just going to take him out. Either that or Giga Drain would have taken him out next turn. It doesn't matter in the end. And that was a close 1-0 victory for me. Very good. I thought it was a very good battle. I really liked how this team performed when I used it. I used it for a few battles. I think for 5 battles, and I went 4-1. The thing I don't like about this team is that it only has 1 special attacker, which I mean, it didn't really matter much to me in the end, because the team still performed pretty well, but it felt a little uncomfortable using only 1 special attacker and then 5 physical attackers on a hyper offense team. So yeah, good game, Rose. I thought Toxicroak did pretty well in this battle, actually. I had other battles where Toxicroak did a lot more, but he played his part. Everyone on this team played its part, and Mega-Sceptile proved to be my win condition in the end. Anyway, today I'm recording this. The Mega-Gross suspect test ended, and it was voted to be not banned, which personally I'm actually really happy about. I didn't think it should have been banned. But yeah, it's strong, it's fast, it's bulky, but there are a lot of things that check it, and there are other reasons why I didn't feel like it would be necessary for it to go. And I called it too. I said I thought there'd be a majority of people voting to say ban, but there wouldn't be a super majority, which happened to be the case. There was a 57% majority, but not enough for the super majority. So, good times. Uh, nice Mega-Sceptile team. Nice Metagross in OU, staying in OU for now. I'll be back with more Wi-Fi battles, maybe another name change. See you guys next time.